It's Tuesday. I woke up this morning and I opened up my hashtag Rise and Grind planner. This is what I do every morning, right? I throw my headphones on, I grab a glass of water, I go downstairs, and I open my hashtag Rise and Grind planner. Now, my Rise and Grind planner, at the very top of every single page, there's a quote that is submitted by an actual Rise and Grind member. Super cool, right? So today's quote was submitted by Vicky Everett. Now, Vicky Everett has been a member of hashtag Rise and Grind for a really long time. She's been a member since like the beginning. Her life has transformed. She has stepped into so much of her greatness. She is shining an amazing light on this planet. I absolutely love Vicky Everett. And so when I popped it open and saw her name and her quote, I was like, wow, this is incredible. So her quote says this: preach the gospel at all times, and when necessary, use words. Preach the gospel at all times, and when necessary, use words. And when I read that, I thought, wow, that's what I'm talking about. Embodying it, right? Preaching it by the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. I absolutely love that, Vicky Everett, and I love you because you walk that way. Hey, we're in this series called Monthly See, Monthly Do. We're going to dive into that today, and it's going to be very interesting in many ways. So let's dive right in. Let's go. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday, I believe. Yes, today is Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. We're coming to you live right now on Facebook at Official Glenn Lundy. If you want to see the full production, we're also behind the scenes over on Instagram. If you want to see what it looks like in my studio and how we sync up all the music and the video and all of that. And of course, we're live also on Clubhouse in our Breakfast with Champions room. So super excited to be here with all of you today. Thank you for choosing to spend this space and time with me. And I use that word specifically. Thank you for choosing, because I know you have a choice. I know that there's a trillion places you could be, and you chose to be here with me, and that means the world to me. It really does. Listen, this morning I woke up. I'm going to be very authentic with you this morning. So this morning I woke up and I realized something that I screwed up, and I didn't even realize I'd screwed up. You ever do that? You ever just have this moment where you're like, oh my gosh, how did I not see that? Are you kidding me? And so I had that moment this morning. I woke up and I realized I screwed up and I didn't even realize it. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take up a little bit of this space right here, a little of this time right here to rectify this thing that I screwed up this morning. Is that okay? That's what I'm going to do. But before we do, you know what we got to do on this show, okay? We got to dance. All right? So we're just going to get right to it. We got to do some dancing this morning. Y'all know how we do. Hashtag rise and grind. Let's go. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, and an object in rest tends to stay at rest. So we want to get this body in motion. Those of you on Instagram, you're like, what the heck? We don't hear any music. Well, I'm sorry. Instagram doesn't let me do that. But if you go to Facebook at official Glenn Lundy, you can check out the music there. So we're going to listen to some music. We're going to get this bodies in motion. If you're working out, let's go. If you're running, come on, run a little bit harder. Let's go. Let's go. If you're laying in bed, get your rear end out of bed. We got stuff to do today. Let's go. What are you doing with your life? No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I do love you. But get up. All right. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. If you're on Instagram, share it out. If you're on Facebook, share it out. If you're on Clubhouse, do me a huge favor. Hit that plus sign in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and invite some friends to join us this morning. It's going to be a powerful episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live, on the replay, listening to the podcast, maybe you're on YouTube, wherever you're at, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Fair enough? Fair enough. What's up, Annette? Great to see you. How you doing, Hussy, my lady? Great to see you as well. I see Magali09M is in the house. I love my Instagram names. They're so funny. What's up? I see Doug Thurston dropping some stars every day. He's dropping stars on me. I love that, Doug. What's up, Marcus Ellis? Great to see you. How you doing, Lady Bird? I'm so glad you're here today. How you doing, Marilyn Wilkin and Angela Ventures Heath? What's up, Lorenzo Spivey? Great to see you this morning. How you doing, Mr. Jeff Baker? I'm glad you're here. AJ Anderson is in the house. Great to see you, AJ. Who we got over here on Clubhouse? Over on Clubhouse, we're packed, right? We got a packed house over on Clubhouse, which I love. I see my man Mark is here. I see Cher. I see the Heiress. I see FiGirl89 on Instagram. I see Delvin Centric Coaching. I see Carrie Diva. I see Lady Paulette is here. I see Beverly Richardson on Facebook. I see Coco Lewis and Linda LaBonds. I see Michael Guthrie. And I see Saul Salcido and Tabby Negret. I see Lily is here. Nathaniel Greklek. What's up, Christine Green in the house this morning? How you doing, Armando? Great to see you. What's up, Kelsey Stark in the building? I love it. And Treva and Dale and Evan and Tony Mo. I see Debbie and Tom and TM and Elizabeth. What's up, Robert and Manuela and Patricia and Robert? I see Kimberly and Kate and Kalina and Dustin. I see Renee and Sharon and Monica and Allie and the Doctor, Sean Shapiro. Not to mention Crystal and Eric and Samantha and Gregory and Donata and Brittany and Jack and Diane. And Jack and Diane. That's right. You heard it here first. Jack and Diane's in the house this morning. I see all of you, and I love you. Don Sankey, love you. Kimberly Hatfield, love you. Regina Fleming, love you. Thank you so much for being here with me this morning. Hey, you're also welcome to join me in New York City if you want. I'm going to go there later today. All right. I'm going to fly to New York City a little bit later today. I'll be there for a few days. I'm going to be at the Breakfast with Champions Consortium. I would love for you to join me there if you would like. You can get your tickets at championsnyc.com. championsnyc.com if you want to come join me. I'm going to head out there a little bit later. I'd love to see you. Also, I do want to let you know that the Breakfast with Champions podcast is now live. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify, everywhere that you can get podcasts. So do me a huge favor if you would. Subscribe, download. You can always go back. Any content that you might have missed, this is your opportunity to go back and get it. All right? Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, enough of that stuff. Let's dive in today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. So yesterday we launched this series called Monkey See, Monkey Do, right? Monkey See, Monkey Do. And in this series, literally a series about how easily mimicry can be absorbed and ultimately shape who we become and how we behave. The things that we see in our environments from trusted members of the family, the things that we see in our environments, from our teachers and the people that we grow up with, the things that we see in the media, the things that we're surrounded by. Ultimately, this idea of mimicry, where we mirror those that we are around, we absorb our environment wherever our feet are planted, right? It's a series about how where your feet are planted ultimately have a lasting impact on everything in your life. From the way you walk and talk to your foundational core values and your belief systems. All of them ultimately influenced by where your feet are planted. If you're born in a certain environment, you're likely to pick up certain beliefs, traditions, behaviors, and patterns. If you're born in poverty versus born in wealth, you will walk different, talk different, see the world different. So that's what this series this week is all about. Where your feet are planted foundationally affects your levels of success in every area of your life. If you are to grow up in the South, you are more likely to value long-standing traditions, and you are more likely to have been raised to believe in and worship Jesus. Grow up in New York City, and you are more likely to heavily value capitalism, custom suits, like my man Brian Benstock, tradition is super important. And you probably have this good old-fashioned, like, blood, sweat, and tears, grit, and spit attitude towards success. You're very much not likely to be afraid to get your hands dirty, right? New York City is definitely a grit and spit and get it done no matter what it takes attitude, right? Then if you plant your feet in the West, if you grow up over in the West, you're more likely to have grown up in a technology-heavy agenda, as well as this lavish industry of like glitz and glam, right? You go to Las Vegas, you go to parts of California, it's a lot of glitz, a lot of glam. You got Hollywood, you got all those things. And then, of course, Silicon Valley, it's much more tech heavy. And that's going to ultimately influence how you feel about those particular things. And depending on how and when established, the Midwest of America it has like this unbridled spirit, right? This unbridled spirit and this strong desire for independence and a vast appreciation for wide open spaces, right? Tell somebody who lives in the middle of Wyoming that they're going to move into a high rise in New York City and watch their face. Tell somebody that they're going to pay $1 million. Tell somebody in North Dakota that they're going to pay $1 million for a 1/4 acre of land, and there's going to be houses on every side of them where you could reach out and touch your neighbor and watch their face. Right? It's completely different, man. They value their wide open spaces. And then, of course, you have this place called Texas. And Texas, well, Texas is Texas. Let's just say that. Texas stands alone. Texas is Texas. Listen, every region around the globe has its own individual pulse. A pulse that ultimately created over time as thoughts words, ideas, and belief systems were handed down from generation to generation to generation. You see, as humans, we are incredibly susceptible to this. Incredibly susceptible to this. The pressure of the pack, right? The pressure of the pack, the pressure to fit in, the desire to conform, and ultimately the inherent safety in numbers. It's a much safer place to be. And so as humans, we have this overwhelming urge to survive, right? To leave a legacy, to plant seeds for the next generation. And it all compels us, all of these things put together, compel us to adapt, to adjust, and to obtain the thoughts, the desires, and the behaviors of those that are around us and that ultimately came before us. Last night I watched this show on Netflix called The Push with Darren Brown. It was recommended to me by somebody in Breakfast with Champions or Rise and Grind as we talked about this series. So I watched it last night, and The Push was a social experiment to see if they could get a normally quite sane human to commit murder. Just in case you were distracted there for a second, last night I watched a show that was a social experiment to see if they could get a normally quite sane human to commit murder. And the results of the show were shocking. Absolutely shocking. Disgusting, really. You see, the methods that they used were trivial in nature, incredibly trivial. And by following a simple sequence of events strategically placed over time, well, I'm not going to ruin it for you. You're going to have to watch it yourself. But I will tell you the results of the experiment were absolutely shocking. You see, throughout the whole show, the human beings that were part of the experiment were responding to commands completely and utterly mindlessly. They were pushed to the very edge, to the very brink of all understanding of morality. And it was so damn easy of a trap that they fell into. But I'm not knocking them. And I'm not knocking you. Because we all do it. You know, January 4th. On January 4th, that was the first episode of this show called Breakfast with Champions that we do over on this app called Clubhouse. January 4th was the very first episode of Breakfast with Champions. And I started it. And it was myself and a guy named Brian Benstock, my friend Liza Myers-Borges, my friend Scott Simons, my friend Brian Hess, my friend Kristen Kingsbury, a guy named Shaka Dyson, a guy named Trevor Houston, both my friends as well, a guy named William Tong that I had just met on the app, but he happened to show me all kinds of cool things. So thankful for William. A woman named Lisa Copeland, and a handful of others. That was on January 4th, 2021. Now, since then, Breakfast with Champions has evolved. Some of the people that were with us in the very beginning are gone. They're not a part of the programming anymore for a multitude of reasons. The obligations, it's tough, right? And so some of the people that were there in the beginning are not here now. And there's some people that are here now that weren't there in the beginning. And ultimately, we've made amazing, amazing friends, and we've had incredibly powerful conversations, and we created an incredible culture online, and a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful space. It's been tremendous, the impact that it has had on people's lives. Now, see, I've experienced this with hashtag Rise and Grind for nearly 4 years now. I know that if we can help people change the way they start their day, it makes an impact. I've been able to witness that for tens of thousands of people now around the world. And so it wasn't a surprise to me that Breakfast with Champions was able to have the same impact, but it was a surprise to me the way that it was able to expand and reach around the globe, and the connections and the networks and the relationships that would be developed. I was definitely surprised by that. And so Breakfast with Champions has been impacting a lot of lives since January 4th. And now a couple months ago, an interesting thing happened, and someone asked me to speak at an event called the Lab Summit in New York City. And so I was asked to be a featured speaker with the Lab Summit, the Listening and Beyond Summit. And incredibly honored for the opportunity to speak at that particular event. I love New York City, and I just love the whole idea of it. Now, after a sequence and series of events, it changed from me having an opportunity to speak at the Lab Summit to ultimately I was then kind of put in a position to host the Listening and Beyond Summit. And so I accepted that gladly. And it's a very humbling to have that opportunity. And so I accepted it, and we shifted it, and we pivoted it, right? And we did all of those things. And literally my flight leaves later tonight to go to this particular event. And I'm super stoked about it. And then this morning, as I was thinking, okay, I'm going to New York, I'm going to this event, dude, I realized something crazy. I realized that I made a huge mistake. Like, while pivoting in response to the social demand, right? Wanting to be a hero, wanting to be included, wanted to host this event. It's right up my alley, right? I love this. In response to the social demand of that, I neglected those that actually make up Breakfast with Champions itself. Like, seriously, it's mind-blowing to me. I can't even believe this. Like, the speakers that are going to be at this event in New York are incredible. And the experience at this event in New York is going to be over the top, hands down, no doubt about it. But when I posted this poster yesterday on Facebook of everyone who's going to be at the Breakfast with Champions Consortium, do you know whose names are not in lights? The people whose names are not in lights are the ones who have spent every single day or week with me for the last freaking 6 months making Breakfast with Champions what it is. You see, when I took over as the host, I adopted and acquired the speaker lineup. And we've got a couple of our regular speakers from Breakfast with Champions like Hannah Eve, Amelia Antonetti, Danelle Delgado. The rest are contributors to Breakfast with Champions. But they're not the ones that have been putting in the blood, sweat, the grit, and all of that. They're not the ones that have been making the sacrifices in their time every single day to make sure that they've got a show, that they're ready to host, that they've got a segment. They're not the ones that have done that. They're not. And so I looked at that and I thought this morning, oh my gosh, this is crazy. How did I miss it? And so I want to just take a few minutes right now this morning. And first of all, apologize to my entire Breakfast with Champions staff. I didn't even see it. And then secondly, I want to make sure to honor each and every single one of you. Alexander Gonzalez, I see you and I honor you, bro. Thank you for all you do. Alpha 6, The way you've come through in the clutch, man, I see you and I honor you. Thank you for all that you do. Amelia Antonetti, you are incredible. You're an incredibly special human. The way you've poured into me and my family, the way you've supported and lifted me up, I am so incredibly grateful for you. Barbara Majeski, showing up in the clutch, filling spaces whenever we need them. Girl, you're one of a kind. I see you and I honor you. Thank you so much for being a part of Breakfast with Champions. Bill Hauser, dude, honestly, I'll openly admit it. He carries one of my favorite segments every week. I love listening to Bill Hauser on Wednesday. His business strategies are just top notch. And Bill, I love you and I honor you. Brian Benstock, we appreciate what you bring to the table, that New York City grit and spit. You, sir, oh my gosh, you've been a mentor, you've been a friend. I absolutely love and adore you. Brian Hess, thank you for showing up 3 mornings a week at 5 a.m. to get us kicked off, to create that space so that I can build the Rise and Grind show as well as run Breakfast with Champions. You, sir, are quite a gem. Brielle Reach, girl, I love you. I love what you bring to the table. I love what you've done for Breakfast with Champions. Your wisdom that you bring is second to none. And you always have this inclusive way of making everyone feel like they get a seat at the table. You truly embody who we are and why we're here. Chris and Jen Gottlieb, or Jen Gottlieb and Chris Winfield. It's not Chris and Jen Gottlieb. Please don't tell them I said that. Chris Winfield and Jen Gottlieb, your light is nothing short of amazing. I see you and I honor you. You always make us laugh. Coach Isaac, dude, one of a kind, bro. I love your heart. I love who you are, and I love your passion for Jesus and all you bring to Breakfast with Champions. Darian Sanders has graced us with his voice, with his wisdom, and a passion for music and for theater and for humans, unlike anybody I've ever seen. David Spizak, it is such an honor and a privilege that you choose to spend your space and your time with us. I honor you, sir. I see you. You're incredible. Hannah Eve, oh my gosh, I am a fan favorite. This young, spirited, incredibly intelligent and driven young woman, you are an inspiration to all of us. Joy Farley, girl, Joy Farley, are you kidding me? My sister from another mister, the friend collector herself. I honor you, girl, and I see you. Kristen Kingsbury, the wealth of knowledge that you bring to us in the world of real estate and building our wealth and your passion for that, I honor you and I see you. Stephen Kuhn, the humble alpha. You wrote a book that's changed the world. Now you're creating courses that do the same. And the fact that you choose to hang out with us here in Breakfast with Champions is unbelievable. You're an amazing superhuman, Stephen. I love you and I see you and I honor you. Laura Wild, getting us all in the zone. This girl brings it every single week. She's also my sister from another mister. She has such a light and a heart for humans. It's absolutely tremendous. Lauren Lavender, a.k.a. Faye 5. What this girl brings to the table is nothing short of amazing. She's a mama. She's a wife. She's a beautiful human. She cares deeply, and she's added so much value to Breakfast with Champions. Liza Myers Borges, owner of Carter Myers Automotive Group. This woman's got 16 dealerships, and yet she shows up here every single day. She shows up on Rise and Grind every day to support and lift me. She shows up here on Breakfast with Champions and pours into all these amazing superhumans. Liza, I see you, I honor you, and I love you. Michelle McLean, the perfect balance for Brian Benstock. Together, what you guys bring every twice a week is just absolutely incredible. And Michelle, I am so inspired. Losing 120 pounds without surgery. Absolutely amazing. And the comeback that you've had through the tragedies you've faced. We love you, Michelle. Niku Losi. This woman called me, asked for a 15-minute call, and literally first thing she said to me is, I am a bad ASS. Those are the first words out of her mouth. And you are so right, Niku. You remind us of how important it is to take care of our temples and our bodies, and you teach us how to do so, and you lead by example. I see you and I honor you. Dr. Rowe, the conversations that we've had, girl, oh my gosh, I'll remember them and cherish them for a lifetime. You've helped me to spark and see opportunities in my life, opportunities to make an impact and a difference. I love your passion. I love your mission. I love who you are. And I honor you. And I honor all that you bring to Breakfast with Champions. Scott Flansburgh, are you kidding me? The human calculator. This dude's been showing up every week to help us think about numbers differently. And ultimately, this guy changed my life 30 plus years ago with his human calculator tapes. And I still use that math to this day. What an honor to run with you, Scott. Scott Simons, are you kidding me? The one and only. This guy right here, man, my life would not be where it is today if it wasn't for Scott Simons. And the fact that he runs 5 dealerships, he has 17 different businesses, he has mentorship programs, and he chooses to spend his time with us on Breakfast with Champions. Scott, I honor you and I see you. Tamara Andrus. Tamara. If you guys don't know Tamara, you got to go follow Tamara. You got to get to know her. She's such a light. Her heart is so incredibly beautiful. Like what she brings is her passion and desire it's just crazy. I've never met anybody like Tamara. She literally is so incredibly beautiful from the inside out. And she brings that to us here on Breakfast with Champions. I see you and I honor you. Tony Rodriguez, inspiring us in the morning, 6:30 a.m. every Monday. I look forward to you, man. What you add and the value that you bring to the table is so incredible, and you always lift me up with such kind and encouraging words. I see you and I honor you. Trevor Houston, dude, you brought a game show to Breakfast with Champions. Are you kidding me? What does it mean to be a champion? Created the Breakfast with Champions t-shirts so that we can honor people, so that we can throw those out as gifts for those that step up to the plate. And of course, the one and only William Tong. Without him, there would be no Breakfast with Champions, period. He's the guy that helped us put it all together, to choreograph, to avoid the pitfalls and the potholes. I love me some William Tong. And of course, Danelle Delgado, traveling in the world, getting paid ridiculous amounts of money to speak on stages. And yet she spends an hour with us every week, and her lists are always incredibly powerful. And of course, my man David Meltzer, one of my coaches, one of my mentors, and a guy that's opening up opportunities for me all around the world. He commits to being a part of this as well every single week. And I am so honored and humbled that he chooses to do so. Listen, each of you mean the world to me. I adore you and I see you. For real, I adore you and I see you. And I ask for grace this morning. I do. I just ask for grace this morning, man. Sometimes life just gets busy. It gets crazy, right? And we fall into this thing called mimicry, and we just go, and we don't really take the time to pause and go, okay, wait a minute. What are we missing here? What are we not seeing? And so please know that I never meant to take any of you for granted. I never, ever meant to take anyone in Breakfast with Champions for granted. Monkey see, monkey do, right? Pre-programmed actions. And it's very easy to lose sight. It's very easy to lose focus. And I know that we all do it. I know that we all do it, but that doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it okay. And see, here's the thing. We get to choose. Like once you see it, right? Once you see it, then you get to choose. That's the cool part. Like once you see that fleck that's been in your eye, or that stick, that twig that's been in your eye, like once you see it, you can remove it. And that's what I want to challenge all of you this week. I want you to take some time to just really reflect and look at the things in your life and make sure you're not taking anyone or anything for granted. Make sure you're not making assumptions based on where your feet were planted. And then do something about it. You see, who you've become and the mistakes that you've made don't ultimately have to remain. Who you've become does not mean that's who that's who you have to, like who you've become does not mean that's who you are. Does that make sense? You see, you are a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. That's who you are. And as a child of God, you have the ability. You have the ability to choose. You have the ability to create and to step into your greatness. You see, I believe that God wants for you and for me, for us to be the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. Not an average version or a little bit below or a little bit above, but the absolute best. That's what I believe. And so I just challenge you to reflect. Look for those opportunities. And if you see an area of your life where you're just kind of monkey see, monkey do, and you're not really pouring in to those that you should be, that you're not really stepping into your greatness on the way that you should be, I want to shake you this morning and remind you that, hey, it matters. It matters. The decisions you make today will make an impact on your friends, your family members, your coworkers. You showing up here with me today has made an impact on me. My friends showing up here for Breakfast with Champions has made a massive impact around the planet. So it matters. It matters. So out of love, I love you. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. But out of love, I'm going to challenge you to look at the areas of your life that you're just monkey see, monkey do. And let's start to make some changes on that today. Fair enough? Fair enough. Listen, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. We got tons of them up there. If you want to talk about this a little bit more over in Clubhouse, we're going to hang out over there for a little while. We'll talk about it there. If you haven't already, share this out, hit the plus sign, do all those great things. And if you can, come join me in New York City. It's really going to be a spectacular, spectacular experience. I can't wait to see you all there and hug your necks. I absolutely stinking love you. All right? Get out there and have an incredible day today. We'll see you on the flip.